Hi, this is Sarah the Stitchin' Mommy, and it's Thursday, June 21st, and this is day 1 of week 2 of the World Cup Stitch Mania World Cup Challenge. So Stitch Mania is a group on Facebook, and they like to put on stitching challenges where you pick projects that you have that fit the themes that they choose. So for the World Cup, they have daily challenges for the first 2 weeks of the World Cup. And I've already done one blog that's I'm going to post it today, and then now I'm filming the intro for the week 2. So I just shared this on my wrap-up video, but I'm going to share it again. The theme for today is 21st World Cup, and it's Thursday the 21st, so it was kind of fun that it's all 21 all the time. So stitch on something related to the number 21. And I'm going to work on Freebie Furry Animals, because all the characters plus spaces is 21 characters. I believe that's what I did. So this is my small full coverage piece that I would like to finish this year, if possible. Not sure if it's going to happen, but I'd like to at least make good progress on it. So see how far I get on this today. There is one more day in the World Cup that this is coming out, so we'll see how much I can get done today. This is my starting point, so I will come back tomorrow, hopefully, with an update on how far I got and what I'm planning to work on tomorrow. And I think that's it for now, so I will see you tomorrow. Happy stitching! Hi, so it is Friday, June 22nd, and this is how much I was able to get done on Furry Animals yesterday. I finished the color I was working on and finished one more whole color, and then didn't have to make a lunch last night for my husband because he was working from home today, so started in a little bit on an even darker color. So it's still kind of piecemeal and hodgepodge and lots of gaps, but eventually it will start to fill in and look really cool. So I think this is coming out one more day in the World Cup for 3 days instead of 2 like most of my projects. So that's how far I got yesterday. Also yesterday, my magnets came in. I ordered some magnets from CMS Magnetics, which is the company that Heather, the Imperfectly Perfect Stitcher, recommended. On my last regular update, I had asked anybody if anybody had recommendations of where to find magnets that were cheaper than Home Depot, but trustworthy source to know that they're actually real magnets. So she was the first person to reply pretty quickly, actually, and she sells needle minders on Etsy, I believe. So I will try to find her shop and link it below so you can go check her out. But thank you, Heather, for your recommendation. So I found some of these. I'm going to make some more. They're really small. They're about 3/8 of an inch, I think, by 1/16. So they're nice and little. It's kind of the size I like. So I'm going to be making a bunch of needle minders for myself because I want each of my lovely projects to have their own. And right now that is not the case. So I got 100 just so I'd have a few extras for the future. And my Caterpillar Cross Stitch Adventure Awaits Stitch Along, the first clue came out today, technically, in the UK. However, because I am West Coast time, Pacific time, in the United States, I got my clue last night, which I was not expecting because I just was thinking, oh, it's not going to come on the 22nd. And apparently the morning of the 22nd is the night of the 21st in the US, at least. So I got the first clue, and she didn't include a stitched version. Like when Frosted Pumpkin has a stitch along, they'll release like a fuzzy picture like this, only with just the area that's been revealed is showing now. And I didn't get one of those. I'll look online to see if there's one online, and if there is, I'll insert it here. But the first clue is right up here, the center middle, and it looks like it's Europe. So there's a lot of, there's a London bus, and an Eiffel Tower, and a Leaning Tower of Pisa, and a Russian church thing. I'll have to look up. I think I'm going to ask you guys what all these things are. So this is the the Europe area was the part that was released. So I'm excited to start that at the end of the month. It may be more than 2 days worth of work. So we'll just see how far I get and what sort of attention I'll need to give to this each month going forward. And then today is the theme in the World Cup is football, which is, they say, in Stitch Mania, it says it could be related to football, American football, international football, whatever, or something with a foot or something with a ball. Frosty X Stitch was telling me that this is not true football. American football is not true football, so I shouldn't be working on this for the football challenge since the World Cup is true football. However, this still counts because there's a ball and a foot, actually 3 feet. So I'm going to be going ahead and working on this today. This is my son's project, and I'm doing my Denver Bronco conversion. So there he is, and I think I will work on the ball today. And if I finish the ball, I'll do more of the surrounding orange and white around him. So that's where I'm starting at today, and hopefully I'll come back and see you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Hi, it is Saturday, the June 23rd, and this is how far I got on my touchdown piece yesterday when the theme was football or foot or ball. And I worked, as you can see, I finished the ball and I finished the stitching in his hand, an elbow pad, a little bit more in the 7, and then there was actually a string of orange thread that was still on my needle when I pulled it out, so I finished that up before I got started on all that stuff. And it's looking really bright. It's not quite that bright red, at least to me through the viewfinder. It looks like the orangey is very red. It's definitely more orange, but maybe the lighting will be better in a future video. But that's how far I got, and I will be working on this again at the beginning of July, the first couple days in July. That's the plan anyways. And so the next thing I'll probably do is finish up his arm with some skin tones and like fill in this bit before moving over. And I may end up getting to his arm over here when I get to these colors, just because they'll be on my needle. But that's kind of the plan, to finish up this section before kind of moving this way. So that's where I got yesterday. And I also, like I mentioned last time, I got the first clue for the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Adventure Awaits Mystery Stitch Along. And I decided to start it just because I'm only going to give it 2 days at the end of the month, and I wanted it to be started so I wouldn't have to think about the starting aspect on those 2 days. I wanted it to just be ready to go and not have to worry about it. So I started it. That's how far I got. And I will show you, there's an airplane at the top, so these are the wings of the airplane and the tail fin, and then this is the start of the windmill in the Netherlands. And I will insert a picture here and tell you what all the things are. There's the airplane on the top, then the London bus, a red wine glass, and then you have the, oh, it's not on here. She has a list of things. In the Netherlands, windmill, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and then there's a thing in Dubai, I can't pronounce it, and St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow, and it looks to me like it's the Eiffel Tower there also, but that wasn't listed on Facebook for some reason. So those are the things that are included in the Europe section, and it's going to be cute. So I've seen Stitcherista has one, and Ladybird Stitcher has one, and a couple other people who have left comments have been interested in it, so it'll be fun to see everyone stitching along. There's actually somebody on the Facebook group who already finished Clue 1, so I'm really impressed by that. So I do like it on this light blue fabric because there's going to be some white in it, so definitely if you choose to do this and get the PDF instead of the kit, definitely go for a colored fabric. So, and then today, the theme is Germany. So work on something German or red, yellow, and black for the German flag colors. And so I'm going to work on my Bountiful Christmastide, which I think Christmas is kind of some of the traditional Christmas things originated in Germany, so that kind of works too. But this pattern is black, clearly, on black fabric, and lots of yellow and lots of red, so that worked well. And this is a Year of Whips piece too. So here is where I am on my Christmas wreath, my fruit wreath, and this all was completed in like the 90s, 2000s, somewhere in there. And since I picked it up again this past year, I did this part. So I'm filling in color by color the bottom half of the design, and then there's lots of backstitching that'll go in afterwards. So since it's red, black, and yellow, I'll probably focus on reds and yellows today. And there's one more day in the World Cup too for red card later on. So that's where my starting point is now, and it's kind of washed out, but it's a little better when you get close. And until then, hope to see you tomorrow. Happy stitching! So here we are, Sunday, June 24th. And this is how far I got yesterday on the German theme, which I chose my Christmas wreath because it's similar colors to the German flag, red, yellow, and black. And I did work on some reds and yellows. Filled in the berries and the fruits and things down here. Again, this is going so much faster than I kind of would have expected because it's such a high count. This is actually 25 count 4/2 on black, 25 count black Lugana. So it's thick, it's large, and it's filling in pretty quickly. So I'm really happy with this. I'm pretty sure I should be able to get this finished this year sometime. So I have one more day in the World Cup to work on this, and then I'm going to give it another 2 days in July for Christmas in July. And then we'll see how much more time I need after that. So that was yesterday. Going forward, today the theme is trophy. So do something with an award, gold, or a cup. And this has lots of gold in it. And it is also the 24th, which is the date that corresponds with my middle son's birthday. So this is his project. So it worked out really well. This is where I'm at with this one. And this is 28 count 2/1, and it's got the dragon started. I've got the wings and the man sitting here. The border has a lot of gold in it, as well as gold beads, so I may do more of the border. I may kind of come over here to see where the edge is on this side. I may not get to the edge, but I think I'll carry the border over this way. I don't know that I'll do all of the border, like backstitching and beads and whatnot, but at least the cross stitch, I think I'll head this way. So that might be what I'll do today. So I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Happy stitching! Hi, it's Monday, June 25th, and I got more done on my dragon ride yesterday than I was expecting. Yesterday the theme was trophy, so work on something gold or an award or a cup. And I worked on the gold in my dragon ride. It was also the day for my middle son's birthday, so I worked on it for him. And I picked up this, I counted over and I realized the border comes up right up against, hi Key, I didn't know you were in here. My border comes right up against these neck stitches that I'd already done. So I finished this border, then went down all the way past the neck stitches just to make sure I counted right. And then I counted over here and did the top leg of that. And then I picked the next darkest color in the border and worked it here and here in the dragon head, and then continued over in this top part. And I had one short string that worked. This is a blended color. All of these are blended colors, except for the eye. All the other full crosses, these 1/1s are clearly single colors, but all of the 2/2 is blended, except for like that eye color was solid. Hey, you're gonna be helpful. So I picked the next color and did it over here, and then I picked got another strand that ended up being really long So I did all of this with the second strand and then worked over here until I ran out of that color. So that's what I did yesterday, and that was really nice. Today the theme is red card, so I'm going to work on my wreath again. So it's only been a couple days since I worked on this, but I'll be working on this again, and I will be finishing up this peachy color is what's on my needle right now, so I'll do the rest of that peachy color on this side. And then I think I'll work on like the white to get all the accent colors filled in, and then there's purple, some of these purpley plum, there's a few of those down here as well as the greens. So I might go with the purple next once I get all the other fruits finished. So that will be my plan of action, and I will see you tomorrow. Happy stitching! Hi, this is June, let's see, Tuesday, June 26th. And here is how far I got on my Christmas wreath yesterday. The theme was red card, and this had lots of red on it. I finished up a lot of the fruit with the yellow bits. There's some peach I finished up and some, not yellow, white highlights. And then I got to work on the purple plums and got 2 colors done on those. So that's pretty good. One more color in those fruits, and then there's, I think, at least one more shade of green in the ribbon, and then the green in the greenery. So, and then back stitching. So it's getting close. I'll give this 2 days in July, but for now this is where it stands in June, and it's been fun to work on this again. It's going really fast. And so yesterday I decided, 2 days ago I had seen the Addicted Sisters here on Flosstube had come up with some Christmas in July daily themes. They wouldn't necessarily all have to be Christmas pieces, but the themes were generally Christmassy. And of course I'm a sucker for that sort of thing, so I had to try it. I had my 2-day rotation kind of planned out already a couple months ago, I think, for July. So those are the things I wanted to work on. I had things in there for Christmas. I had things in there for stitch-alongs and full coverage fanatics and all sorts of things. Not necessarily all Christmas pieces, and my kids' pieces. So I wrote down everything I had chosen and how many days I wanted to spend on it, and kind of printed out a calendar and wrote in the Addicted Sisters themes and kind of tried to sort through and get everything fit in. However, it didn't really work all that well. I was kind of disappointed because a lot of the themes are distinctly Christmassy, and I have some Christmas pieces but not a lot, and that's not all I wanted to work on in July, so it was hard to find pieces that would fit all the themes well, and it wasn't like, some of them it was just like, yeah, I really can't fudge that. It just doesn't fit. So I think I decided, and I'm content with this, I think I decided not to do it. Not to do their stitch along. It sounds like fun, but I do have my 2-day rotation I've been wanting to try, so it will be a good time to take a break from the daily rotations. Take a break because it'll be in between the World Cup dailies and the arbitrary August dailies. So that's what I told myself at first. I'm like, I'm kind of should probably have a break from doing daily things, but it was too good to pass up, too good to try. And I tried it, and I didn't necessarily like how my pieces fit into the themes. And I wasn't willing to switch my pieces because I kind of had already I did want to do Christmas in July stitching, so I have all my Christmas pieces coming out, but I wanted other things too. So it just didn't work out, and that's okay. So I will be watching everybody else who wants to do that, stitch along with those themes, and that should be fun. And in the meantime, I will be trying a proper 2-day rotation for the first time. So except for 4 days on the Storytime sampler, which needs more time to get done. And we'll see how that goes. I'll see how I like that. Today, the theme for the World Cup is 11 members, so do something related to the number 11. And I believe I chose this again because Twisted Band has 11 characters. So I get to work on this again. Yay! One more day on Twisted Band Sampler for the month of June. And this is where I'm at. I have a little bit more of this butterfly left in this color, and then I get to do some specialty stitches. So we'll see how complicated they are and if I can get a good amount of those done. Specialty stitches, generally speaking, seem to go quicker than cross stitch as far as filling up the space. So we shall see what I can get done today. And until then, have fun stitching and planning and living your life. Happy stitching. Bye. Hi, it is now Wednesday, June 27th, and this is how far I got yesterday on my Twisted Band Sampler. I was able to finish all of this dark orange color. So we'll get in there, maybe see the specialty stitches a little bit. I finished this butterfly right here, and then this is half of the specialty stitch band, and then there'll be a mirror image with the next color. But we did rice stitches down the middle, and then we added scallop stitches on this end and raised stitches on this end. So it's a skinnier band than this one, but it was fun to do. And I did stay up a little bit late last night to get it all finished, because I wanted to get, I think I was to about here with the raised stitches. So I'm like, I got this. I want to just finish this color before I put it away. I don't think I'll be bringing this out again purposefully until September. It may come out in arbitrary August if it comes up randomly. But I have other plans for July, and so September is my birthday month, so I'll probably pull out a bunch of things that I just find a lot of joy in stitching. So this, I think, will be one of them. So I'll probably pull this out again, at least for 2 days in September. So you may see it again in August, but maybe not, because I do have almost 50 whips now, and there's only 31 days in August. So, and then today is, the theme for the World Cup is Zabavaka, maybe, and it's animal, the animal mascot for the World Cup. And so these are my animals, Freebie Furry Animals from Heaven and Earth Designs, and I will be working on these guys today if I can. Yesterday I got a decent amount of stitching. Today I don't know if I will get much. We'll see. Maybe in the evening. We do have a lot of plans during the day, so definitely probably won't get much stitching until tonight, if then. So hopefully I can get a little bit done tonight. And this is my starting point. I have this darkest color in here on my needle, so I'll finish that color up and then see where I can go from there. I'll probably do another light color if I can finish that color and have more time. So see how that goes. Talk to you later. Hi, it is now Thursday, June 28th. And because of course I never know the date, even though I've just looked at it. It's June 28th, the last day of the official World Cup challenge. The World Cup goes longer than this, but this is the last day of the group matches. So from here on out, there will be some days with no games. So I think that's while the players rest in between the bracket matches. So I think that's probably why Stitch Mania decided just to do the first 2 weeks. And I'm looking forward to moving on with a 2-day rotation after this. So today, yesterday, this is what I got done on Furry Animals Freebie for the animal mascot theme. And I finished off the darker color that I was working on that was on my needle, and then I worked on the next lighter color, which is a little darker. It's this color, like orangey color. So I did that one as well. So really just those 2 colors. Again, like I knew I wouldn't get a whole lot of time, but I got a little bit in the evening. Then with the rest of my evening, while we were watching a show, I finished up this section because it was really easy to do while we were, even though this is 28 count, 2/1, so it's little, but I finished this little section because I knew it would be easy while we were watching a show. And then I came over to my ink circles conversion and bobbinated all my flosses. So I did that last night. So now they are ready to go in July, barring any more replacements that might come in the July Victorian Motto Club. So that's fun. That's ready to go. I like bobbinating stuff. I don't like using the little cards that keep them loose. Like, I will do that. If something's in a kit, I'll do it that way. But I think I prefer bobbins. I don't know. It's just my thing. So, not this one, although seeing this again makes me want to start it. But today, we'll be up here. Today, the theme is 32 teams, so something related to the number 32. And like I've said before, I like to just pick one project and go with it. So, for 32, this is one of the pieces I was planning to do this month anyways, and I've already done one day on it. It's for the Full Coverage Fanatics Ocean theme for the month, which clearly works for the ocean. But I believe what I did is Norwegian ship under sail golden kite is 32 letters. So that's how I made this work. So here's where I am with that right now. I did this first column during Stitch Mania last year when I worked on this for 5 days as my start, and then earlier this month I did this amount in the second column. So I will see how much I do on that today. In the meantime, have a fun rest of your World Cup group watching, and I will come back tomorrow for in-person update with my face in front of the camera to kind of wrap it up and show you what I'll be working on the next few days into the beginning of July as well. So, talk to you later. Bye. Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin' Mommy, and I'm here for a wrapping up my World Cup Challenge vlog. It's been the past 2 weeks, and you saw the first week vlog already, and this is the end of the second half. And the World Cup is not over, but the group matches are over, so I believe there's no games today. This is Friday, the 29th of June. But the first games from the tournament bracket start tomorrow on Saturday. And then there'll be breaks off and on as the different teams rest in between games. So it's not going to be as the consistent, 3 or 4 games a day like it has been the past 2 weeks. So the Stitch Mania challenge is over now. Yesterday I was working on my Norwegian ship under sail by Golden Kite, which all the letters put together make 32 letters for the theme 32 teams. And this is how far I got. I finished a column! Yay! I had a good amount of, I let myself stitch a good amount during the afternoon, and then the evening I was finishing up the ninja stitches, and I had like 4 stitches left, 3 different colors, and I got two of the unique colors done and parked, and then the last 2 were the only 2 on the whole page. So I ended up, and it was time to go to bed. So those 2, rather than make my husband roll his eyes and say, "Really, you're staying up?" I just opted to do those 2 this morning. So because I needed to finish this before putting it away again. But I'm really, really, really enjoying this. It's 25 count linen, I believe. It's a little soft, so doing the 10th stitch does kind of warps it just a little bit, but because I'm not doing continental tent, it's a loose 10th stitch, so you can just kind of block it again with your fingers and straighten it out again. And I noticed that with my love letter project that's also on this fabric, and I have like 3 pages done on that, and it's the same way. It's a very easily manipulated stitch when you just do a regular half stitch. So even though it starts to look a little wonky, you can just kind of adjust it, and it's fine. And then going to frame it later works just fine because it's easily blocked because it's not as stiff. Like I tried continental stitch one time, and it was forcing it really harshly in a warp way and would not budge. Like you couldn't adjust it at all. So I immediately stopped and ripped that out. So I think if you want to do something other than a regular half stitch, you might try basket weave. I think I've heard that that's a really stable stitch, but I haven't actually tried that. I'm not sure how it would work with something like a full coverage piece where it's lots of confetti. Solid color stitching would make sense, but I don't know. I've never done that. So that's the last piece I did for the World Cup Challenge, and that was also for the Full Coverage Fanatics monthly theme that was ocean, because it's a ship in the ocean. And I was thinking this morning, like, this top corner is just gray sky, and I am really enjoying this as I've been working on it, even though it's just a bunch of grays and tans. It's been fun, and I think it's the 25 count makes it really enjoyable. But this section of the ship doesn't show up until page 3, and then if I were to go down, this part of the ship doesn't show up until page 3 down. So I was kind of deciding, like, originally I think I was going to head across the top, but I might work down just so that I can get to the blue and be able to work, you know, sky, 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 a little bit of ship, blue, and then, you know, sky, ship, blue, and just kind of be able to get some of the prettier colors as I go along. So it'll be a while. I still have several more columns in page 1, but I might end up doing page by page vertically on this one, like I'm doing a few other ones. And then while we're here, this is my Artisy chart I showed you the other day, and yesterday I had an Etsy sale for a kit, so I was serging the fabric for the kit, and I thought, well, while I have my serger uncovered, I'll serge the fabric for this guy so that it can be ready to go. And then I couldn't find it. And I was searching everywhere in my house. I was really depressed. Thankfully, this morning, I looked one more place a little bit harder. It was behind where my daughter's reading lesson book is, and I must have set it on top, and it had fallen kind of behind a few other things, so I was so sad. I was like, oh no, that fabric. So I have this serged now, and it's ready to go for this little cherry kitten pattern, and I don't know when I want to start this, but I think I want it to be soon. I already have 2 starts in July, so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I want August to be full of whips, so I don't want any starts in August. I already have a couple starts in September too, so I don't know. I might just look at my July plans and see if there's anything that I can change. I have lots of Christmas stuff in July too, so I don't know. I really want to start it. Just because it's so cute. And then while I was at it, I went ahead and serged the fabric for tapestry. So it's all serged and ready to go as well. And I cut a piece. It's going to be 12 by 12 piece of fabric. I need to iron this one too. I ironed the other one, but I forgot to iron this one. It's going to be 12 by 12 because I'm doing it 1/1 on 28 count. And with a 2-inch margin, it was like 11.1 inches. So I just rounded it up to 12. So it'll have a little bit more than a 2-inch border. So that's ready to go, and I'll probably be starting that, like, I have it written down for the 19th, but if you press me, I am able to move it. But that's, again, one I really want to start soon. And then going forward, the next 2 days, I'm going to work on my Caterpillar cross stitch along, the mystery stitch along called Adventure Awaits, and it's going to be in the shape of a world map. And so far, Europe is available, or Europe is the clue that's out, and that's where I'm starting from today. Just a little bit of one thread, so I did the blue on the airplane and the start of the windmill. So I'm going to work on this today and tomorrow and see how far I can get. Hopefully finish the clue, but there's a good chance I won't. So we'll see. I'd like to be able to finish the clue in the next couple days. I'd also really want to work on my diamond painting, so I don't know when that's going to fit in. Too many things in too little time. The last week I have not had a lot of time to work on my travel piece, but I did work on it a little bit. There was no swimming lessons, no stitching in the car. The different travel extended times in the car we had, I was driving, so I didn't get a whole lot of time there, but there were a couple times where I pulled it out and worked on some green. So this is where it was last time you saw it, and here it is now. And I think I finished all the green in the center and did a little bit more green, did some green in the border. So the only sections, the center is almost complete except for the rest of the blue in the house and the centers of these two flowers, which this flower is supposed to have a yellow center, but because I messed up the whole deal, or not messed it up, changed the name color and made this flower just kind of hanging out rather than look like a flower with the Y as a stem with leaves, which was how it was charted. This flower has a red center, so I may make this flower have a red center also, just so that it matches the standalone random flower that's down here. So that might be what I'll do. Oh yeah, did I finish? Yeah, I finished the white in these flowers, so the white is all done on the peas, no more white. And then there's this brown border that goes all the way around, and the green, and the red and the yellow in the border. So, still a good amount to do, but it is closing in on a finish. And then I'll move on to June after that. Let's see. So going forward into July, I think I'm going to try, since this video ended up being on a Friday, and going forward, I think Fridays might be a little bit, Thursdays or Fridays might be better days for the next few weeks, so I think I'll just do weekly updates on Fridays around or thereabouts. So for the next few days in June, my first 2 days, I'm going to try a 2-day rotation in July. I said June, I meant July. Going into July, I'm going to try a 2-day rotation. And so everything will get 2 days except for my Storytime sampler, which is going to get 4. And I have 1 extra day that I can either do my diamond painting or pick something that I want to do extra, or maybe start Cherry Kitten. So we'll see. But the first 2-day rotation is going to be touchdown for my son because his birthday date is the 2nd, and so that goes along with that. The 1st and the 2nd will be his football piece, and you saw this earlier in the challenge, but here is where we are right now with that one. And this is on 28 count even weave by MCG Textiles. And it's a lot, yeah, that's a little bit closer. It's more of a turquoisey blue than it's showing in, it always washes out. But it's, yeah, it's kind of a turquoisey blue. But this is from Hobby Lobby, and they actually discontinued the MCG fabric at Hobby Lobby. I got the last 2 at my Hobby Lobby, I think. And then now they have a Zweigart fabric that's being sold under the Artiste brand, their store brand. It says light blue, but it's lighter than this one. And it looks cleaner and neater and a smoother fabric because it's a Zweigart, so that kind of makes sense. But this one is still on that one. So it's 28 count 2/2, and I'll be working on that for 2 days. And then I get to make my first new start of the month, because the next 2-day challenge, or 2-day rotation, will fall on the 4th of July, so the 3rd and the 4th, I will be starting Lady of the Flag. And this has been planned for a very long time. since last year, I think, that I figured I'd started on the 4th of July, and now it has been re-released for a limited time, I think. There's, I haven't been following it because I already have it, but there's supposedly a quantity of 10 limit for each local needlework shop to get these patterns. So if you want it, you can go, ask around and see if you can find it. Trisha from 3 Owl Threads had a few of them, but I don't know if she still does. I bought mine for $12, probably at Friendship Crossing in Corvallis, Oregon, when it was, actually a normal chart in stock and everything. So I had mine normally, and actually it was funny because when I went to buy it, it was the only Mirabilia that kind of caught my eye, and I'm like, I guess so. It's all right, And so I just grabbed it. Had no intentions of starting it anytime soon. And then the Hullabaloo, when I came back into the stitching community, or found the stitching community and realized that this was like a hot commodity, I'm like, wow, I have that one. And it wasn't even a struggle or a really strong desire. But I figured it's a good time to start it. Part of me wants to start it now because I found some nice linen for it. Last year, I believe it was, I found some linen on eBay, so I'm going to do Stony Point Witchelt linen that I found. It's really stiff and see-through, which is weird. I don't know that I've stitched a whole lot on this type of linen, but it's a nice, earthy green color, which I think all the lighter colors in her dress will look pretty nice. Hopefully the blue will stand out okay too. But that's what I'm planning to start her on. So I got her rolled up and ironed and rolled up and ready to go for the 3rd. And then on the 5th and 6th, I will be working on Snow Queen, because I normally would work on Snow Queen on the 4th, which is the day that goes along with my daughter's birthday, but the 4th is the 4th of July, so she got pushed aside by the Lady of the Flag. So I'll be working on Snow Queen by Shannon Wassiliv, Shannon Christine Designs, for my daughter on the 5th and the 6th. So I just bumped her back to the next two-day chunk. Here is where I am at with her. She is on 14 count light blue Ada 2/1 that I had in my stash from my grandma, and it was just the perfect color. So even though there's like next to no margin, it was a perfect color, and I'm a cheapskate, and I had it, and I thought, I'm gonna just do it. So when it comes time to framing, I'll probably take the serging stitches out just to make sure that you can see a little bit more fabric, and try to find a frame or mat that comes like close to the tree, because it kind of chops off the tree anyway, so I think it would look fine to find something like that. And I haven't actually measured it to know if how close it is to a standard frame, but we'll have to wait and see when we get there. Now I know that getting a custom mat cut is not super hard, so that may be something that I do. So I'll give this 2 days, and again, I'm really interested in the color completion at this point for the short rotations. So next time I think I'm going to work on the white, the darkest white in her dress, and at the same time I may also do all of the darkest white in the tree and the snow on the bottom. So I may just be working on, it's like a really pale blue, so I may just work on that the whole time. So we'll see how that goes. And then that comes up to the next Friday, which I'm hoping to do another update for you then. And in the meantime, I started hearing about a new 100 Days of Hade, Heaven and Earth Designs challenge, and I missed the last one because I think I started hearing about it after it had started. The thought was a little bit intriguing, And I heard Stitching Marie said she was going to do it, and my first thought was, nah. And then I forget where I heard it again. I heard it again. I think Jessie Marie was talking about it too, how she wants to pull out a piece and do, I think 200 stitches a day is kind of her goal. And I don't know. I have all my plans, and in the past I have tried to work on 2 things in the same day, and I didn't like it. So I may start the challenge and then decide it isn't for me, and I'll give up. And I'm going to allow myself the freedom to do that. But I'm going to try. And what I'm going to try to do is 15 minutes a day on my Focus Haid, which is Furry Animals freebie. I at first thought I wanted to do maybe 1 length of thread a day. But because it's on 28 count, 1/1, or actually 2/1, half stitches, a 1 length of thread can go a really long way. So in order to keep it reasonable and not take too much time away from all my other plans, I think I'll set a timer and do 15 minutes. And however long I get, that'll be great. And they have you check in like every 10 days in the challenge. So assuming I can keep up with it, I'm going to show it on my videos regularly, but I think like on Instagram, I'll just post every 10 days on Instagram too, because 15 minutes a day isn't going to be a ton. It'll be like my travel stitching with the amount that I can get done every day. So like on a typical, during the school year, I can get about 15 minutes on my travel piece every day. So it'll be kind of like that with just a little bit. So this is one of my Year of Whips pieces, because it is so small. It goes to about here. There's 3 bunnies and then a squirrel over here. So I'm really hopeful that that this will help me get closer to a finish. And I actually have it in here for 2 days in my July rotations. So on those days, I'll just work on it all day. But on all the other days, I'll set a timer for 15 minutes and do that. So we'll see how it goes. And I think that's everything I needed to share with you. I'm tempted just to tell you my whole month's plans, but I really think I should be able to come back in a week. So if not, you'll just have to be surprised when I come back after whenever I can. So until then, I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I hope you're enjoying your stitching. And I did mention before, I'm not doing an official Christmas in July challenge, but I am going to work on some Christmas pieces throughout the month of July. I'm giving them each a 2-day rotation throughout the month. So you'll see the first one right after Snow Queen. So after my next update, assuming I can update on Thursday or Friday next week, the very next thing I'll work on will be my Christmas wreath. So that'll be my first Christmas piece but I'm just going to give everything like a 2-day rotation. It's not going to be anything like solid Christmas. So they'll be scattered in amongst all my other things. So that is that, and I will wish you a wonderful weekend and happy stitching. Bye.